I've been thinking about this thing. Did you know that exes bring no value to our future? They don't love or desire what's best for us, and in some awful cases, they are selfish and are only in it for what they can gain. Yuck. I know that's heavy, but I still want to welcome you to the Unravel channel. My name's Victoria Robinson, the Unraveling expert. I have a special gift to bring insight to awaken your expectation. On this channel, you can look forward to me addressing common issues that have detrimental effects and help you unravel from them. Today, our talk is going to be focused on how to pump the brakes on your ex using you. Let's unravel, my friends. The thing that brings us together today, our community, is this idea that we all have an ex something, or maybe even someone. I got a few, right? I want to share a story because my experience has taught me that it's hard, it's difficult to part ways from something you had invested your time, your energy, your heart even. It can be overwhelmingly like almost feeling as though it's impossible. But today I hope to help you to come to the understanding that it's so possible. When I was 21 years old, I had two boys and was absolutely desperate for some level of stability emotionally, physically, financially. And so I was pursued by an older man. He was 20 plus years older than me. I'm thinking like, whoa, life is about to be good, right? And in fact, it was for the first few years until I got pregnant with my last daughter and he was done with the relationship. And then he informed me, wow, here I am, pregnant with my fifth child, alone and unwanted by their father. Can you imagine how hard that was to accept as reality? Even as I see it right now, it's like mind-blowing that I've been able to move forward because that moment felt like it was something I could not overcome. It felt impossible. Have you been there? Make sure you comment below. I really want to hear your experiences with exes, and if I can bring some video topics that'll help you, I'll do as much, but I'll definitely respond to every comment. That's my story. I want to know yours. Now, the theme of our talk today is, well, how do you get to the point where you can stop and say, hey, no more. I don't give you permission to use me because you're not the 3 points that I led the video with. You don't desire what's best for me. You aren't bringing any value into my future. And unfortunately, all your desires and your decisions are only in support of you winning. How do you stop that? Especially when you want something from that entity or that relationship. I'd like to say that the first thing you need to consider is knowing your worth and your value. I've been picking apart the word excuse for the last couple of days, bringing different topics and videos and even including faith into it because that's huge for me. But as I thought about this video, I broke down the word excuse and that's where I found the X at. Break it down, look it up. The word excuse is spelled E-X-C-U-S-E. There are 3 parts that are at work in every excuse. There's an X, there's a C, and there's a U's. Our central theme for today's conversation is how do I pump the brakes on my ex using you? First things first is you've got to know you are valuable, and that can cut the X out almost immediately. Honestly, now most of you may be thinking that this is solely about a relationship with a person, but I want us to go just a tiny bit deeper because there are ex habits, there are ex attitudes, there are ex mindsets, there are ex decisions, there are ex ways of doing a plethora of things that you may allow and invite back into your present and be incapable of experiencing the awesomeness that is available to you if you can but say, heck no, I don't give you permission to move forward with me. You're my ex, you're a part of my history. I've learned from you and I'm moving forward. The power to do what I just said comes from knowing your worth. going back to my story, it was probably less than a year after my kid's father, parted ways and the relationship was over. He actually called me. No jiving. He called me and asked me something that I had been waiting for him to ask me forever. You probably know where I'm hinting at. Oh yeah, that brother asked me to marry him. And I'm like, what? I'd been waiting, playing around with my name, with his last name. Planning my wedding, looking up dresses, creating a playlist. I had it all wrapped up because I had invested so much time in this relationship. I was certain it was moving towards marriage. But it wasn't until after he dumped me, I had to go and deal with that reality and then start getting clear enough to find out, what do I want? What is it? What am I really looking for? All those questions, I had to go on a deep soul search to discover a few things about myself. And by the time he called me, guess what, my friends? I had a little bit of revelation that I'm not sure that you are what I want. Woo! Isn't that something to consider? I had been waiting 6, almost 7 years for him to ask me a question that by the time he asked me, I had clarity of my worth. And I was empowered to say, guess what? No. It hurted. I cried. I was upset. But I knew I could not say yes to continue a relationship with someone who did not understand how to value and love me the way I desired to be valued and loved. Whoa. Remember, I said that first principle to unraveling and letting yourself become free from being used by an ex is to understand your value and honor it. Honor it. I applied what I'm saying in my response to my ex. I said, no. Again, it was hard, not minimizing. It was hard, but I said no. What do you need to say no to that comes and knock on the door in those inconvenient times, or maybe even those lonely times, or those really vulnerable times where you wanna say yes, but you know you need to say no? What is it? Jot that down. Second thing is, after you know your worth, it would be to live it out. Live it out. I had to come to the understanding that I didn't need a relationship to affirm that I was a valuable person. I needed to love and invest in me, celebrate me, know me, enjoy spending times with me, understand what I want, make plans, and create a vision for my life. That is how we live out our value. When you make an investment into that which you value, which in this context, we're talking about ourselves, you are not going to be as susceptible to an ex stepping into play when you actually have a boundary that is fortified in self-value. Notice I didn't say self-centeredness or being self-absorbed. Self-value, self-worth, having a sense of who you are, that protects and preserves that value for the relationships and the opportunities that you will open the door and say, hey, I'm going to bring my value to this situation, or I'm going to bring my value to this relationship. Those would be 2 key principles to pumping the brakes on your ex. I never thought in a million years, after being an extremely codependent woman, I never thought I could say no to an opportunity for someone to want me or notice me or make a big commitment to me. I got the understanding that I don't have to say yes to everybody that is giving me some attention, or to anything that is wanting my attention. Heck no. I'm a valuable woman, and I'll say yes to the things that support where I want to be, what I want to see present in my life, and so on. How about you? See, you and I are valuable. But if we don't live that out, don't expect anyone to honor that. It'll just be our best kept secret. Is your value your best kept secret? If it is, we need to put the secret out and make it public, so others in your sphere of influence and things that you're connected to can honor and respect your value. I broke down again the word excuse. Now you're probably wondering, Victoria, what that got to do with anything that you said? Here is what it has to do with it. Remember, I said an excuse has three things at play always: an X, a C, and a U's. Through my time of praying for you guys and praying for this video and really asking God to help me bring a message that would add value and help you to say no and mean it, this is the revelation that I got for the X, the C, and the U. When you operate in an excuse, meaning you excusing the behavior of people and places that don't support the value you want to live out, then you are not making yourself present for future use. Woo! That would be your unraveling principle for this video and your key to turn the ignition and say, it's over. When you don't put excuses to support people who you want to be in relationship with or things that you want to be connected, when you can stop making excuses regarding that, my friends, you're going to find that there is no more traction in that area being used by an ex anything, because you've said, nope, I will not eliminate myself from being present where I need to be present. There's a story in the Bible about a woman at the well. I have the scriptures all posted into the body of this message, but she was just doing her thing, going to grab some water, and Jesus was actually going out of his way to meet her at this well. She's going, and he starts asking her a few questions about, hey, give me something to drink. And this woman came up with every kind of excuse or reason as to why she could not deal with him in the way he was asking her to deal with him. Why am I bringing this story up? Because Jesus said something so important that I hope really strikes your attention and give you like that aha moment. He says, after all that she went back and forward with him on, he goes and he says this. He says, if you knew what was standing before you, you would not be asking all these questions. You just do as I asked. She could not even see that Jesus, the one that her ancestors had been speaking of for so long, was standing right in front of her, because she was so bogged down in so many excuses and so deeply attached to so many exes. It wasn't until she chose to open her mind, open her eyes, and get present, she was able to drop that bucket and go and share and really be a blessing to her whole entire community. What is standing right in front of you, but you can't see it because you're still in use and in progress and in the cycle of an ex? What is it? Is it that breakthrough that you've been praying and asking, when is my time? Is it that opportunity? Is it that open door? Is it that peace, that hope, that joy? Whatever that you've been waiting for, it's likely on the other side of all the excuses that you've made to support being connected with a system or a relationship that no longer supports the value you desire to walk in. In closing, guys, I want you to really think this through. What ex do you continuously allow to see and use up your time that should be dedicated to your future? Identify it, eliminate it, and assess a true value in that place that you want to walk and live out. You are too loved to live connected to something that is not providing the love, the abundance of it that you should be accessing. I hope that you have been inspired and motivated by this video today. Please like, subscribe, and share this, guys. I want to encourage as many people as possible. If you want some more tools on unraveling, be sure to grab a copy of my book series available on Amazon. And most importantly, guys, remember to follow me every day. I'm desiring to really encourage you. I put quotes, I put questions, I put thoughts, and they're all for you. God bless you and have an amazing Thanksgiving. I look forward to bringing you a new video after the holidays. Take on care.